Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to another video of Be the Best DFS Daily Fantasy Sports Talk. It's Wednesday night, October 19th, and this is my Week 7 video for my lineup strategy for GPPs for Fanduel and Draftkings as well. I hope y'all got a chance to catch the NBA tip-off video that I put out earlier today. It got some good content in it. A quick recap from Week 6. It really wasn't too great for me, but I can't complain. My Drew Brees stack put up 130 points, and I'm definitely just counting the wins as a blessing. And the Cam Newton stack kind of fell a little short, but it's okay. I'll just learn lessons from it. Just look forward to doing better this week. And also this week I got my friend joining me for the NFL Week 7 slate. Got my friend Ricky, who works with me for the Braves at Turner Field. What's up, man? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. It's an honor to be on the show.
Appreciate it. Y'all probably recognize him in the Fanduel group, but he got a lot of skills, got a lot of a different perspective to offer, and hopefully, with this video we can help people do better, and we can all win some money this week. So, you ready to get started with this?
All right, man. Sounds good. Let's do it.
Okay. As always, y'all know I like to begin my videos with a quarterback wide receiver stack. And I know it may seem kind of chalky and it may be real popular, but my favorite quarterback wide receiver stack is the same one from Week 4, Matty Ice and Julio Jones. I definitely feel they're in a good spot this week, going up against the San Diego Chargers, who has a vulnerable secondary. They cheated Julio in that game against the Seahawks. Richard Sherman had that pass interference on him. So I definitely feel that, Julio going to come out this week wanting to prove a point and just make up for that drop pass he had and just really turn up on the Chargers. So Matt Ryan and Julio Jones, that's my top stack for GPPs. What you think about that, Ricky? And who's your favorite stack for this week?
Well, I think the Matt Ryan, Julio Jones stack is an awesome stack. I mean, it's kind of foolproof. They should be able to score now. If not 1, 2 touchdowns, I mean, it's hard to not go with that. It may be played a lot, but I mean, one thing I like to say, I mean, if they score and they get you points, sometimes I don't really care who play it or how they play it or whatnot. But I think for my stack, I'm gonna go with Andy Dalton and AJ Green out of Cincinnati. I mean, Andy Dalton, he trying to get on track. AJ Green is a big target. I don't think Joe Hayden will be playing this game. He didn't play last week. Questionable right now. If Joe Hayden don't play, or even if he does play, I still like AJ Green to get his. He's been doing pretty good. I think he got kind of limited against Dallas. I think they played Dallas. I can't remember right on hand. I don't have it all in front of me, but I just think Andy Dalton and AJ Green for that price, Andy Dalton's price combined with AJ Green, he's not that much. He's not as much as I think he should be. I think that's gonna be a great stack, and it's cheaper. But it's cheaper than the Julio Jones and the Matt Ryan. So I mean, I like it.
I definitely agree with you. And to add on about Andy Dalton and AJ Green, if you just kind of look at the numbers when you click on FanDuel, if you click on AJ Green, the Cleveland Browns, they're ranked at the bottom of defensively ranked, they're 29th. Versus the pass, they're 26th. And versus the rush, they're 27th. And then they're at home. They're coming off a loss from the getting beat by New England Patriots. So I definitely can see Andy Dalton and AJ Green being a viable stack option. Matt Ryan and Julio, they're going to be my first stack. But if I make a couple more lineups, that's definitely one to consider. So I definitely agree with that. Now that we got our top stacks out the way, our number one stacks for both of us, let's go on to each position. Starting off with the wide receiver position. We talked about Julio Jones. I really like Julio. I think he's going to be motivated. You said AJ Green. I agree with that. Another receiver that I like is Allen Robinson for the Jacksonville Jaguars going up against the Oakland Raiders. And mainly it's because of the matchup. Hold on, let me click down to Robinson. Let's see. Okay. The Oakland Raiders, they're 32nd versus the pass, and they're 32nd defensively ranked. And I just think he's in a good spot. He may go under-owned because a lot of people don't think about Allen Robinson. What's your thoughts about Robinson?
I like Allen Robinson. I think pound for pound, I think he was underdrafted. I think if he was at Penn State and he had a better quarterback, he would have been winning the first round. It's just Bortles. Bortles is the only question mark. You know what I mean? But, you know, in the red zone, Allen Robinson is really heavily used. Who do they play again? I don't have it right in front of me.
They playing the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah. I guess Oakland, yeah. I mean, I can see it. Their quarterbacks are the highest rated. Emerson was doing good, but he's smaller, but he kind of tailed off a little bit. I mean, they're going to need Allen Robinson. I guess that couldn't be a bad pick. I think if I had to go in that higher range where you at right now, I definitely got to go Mike Evans. Okay. Against my 49ers.
Yeah.
Which is you know, kind of hard to say, but it is what it is.
What's your reasons for liking Mike Evans?
Oh, Mike Evans. I mean, the 49ers are good. That's one reason. They got to score. Vincent Jackson's gone. Mike Evans was already a target monster. He should be in the top 3 targets right now, if not 1 or 2. And they got to score. I mean, Mike Evans, to me, is a lock for a touchdown. If not, he's either a lock for 110 or 100 yards or a touchdown or. So, I mean, Mike Evans, he should be in everybody cash lineups, and I think I'm playing him in a lot of my TPPs, maybe 20-30%, really.
Yeah, I think the thing that increases Mike Evans' value is the fact that Vincent Jackson is on the injury reserve. So I definitely think that's what shows his value. So he's definitely another possible good player, wide receiver, along with Julio Jones, A.J. Green, Allen Robinson. Another receiver that I want to talk about is Kendall Wright of the Tennessee Titans. He had a big game this past week. Let me see if I can pull up the stats real quick. But his price is $5,000, which is a great value price. And I'm going to give you the exact numbers. All right. So week 6 versus the Cleveland, he had 8 receptions for 133 yards and 1 touchdown, 9 targets. And this week, he's facing the Indianapolis Colts teams, who's ranked 30th defensively and 29th versus the pass. At a price of $5,000, if you're spending up, in other positions, I think Kendall Wright is a great value play as well as a GPP play when you consider the defense. What's your thoughts on Kendall Wright?
I think Kendall Wright had a real good weekend on Sunday. He just got back not too long ago. He didn't play. He didn't play a lot of snaps, but the snaps that he did play, they targeted him. So I would assume his snap count would only go up. So I think at 5,000, I think that. I mean, you can't really ask for much more of a play than that. You know what I mean? You got to get him in some of your lineups at least. I think at 5,000, they should score points. They're better than Cleveland. Mariota's on a roll. You know what I mean? Talent-wise, he has a far more talent than any other target that they have on their team at wide receiver. Talent-wise, if he could just, the only question mark is if he could just stay healthy. So you really put me on him at 5,000. I gotta give you that, man. I didn't see him, but I mean, I'm definitely targeting him. So that's good one. The good one on you. I guess if I had to go down that way, I'm looking at Jeremy Maclin against the Saints.
Okay.
I want to say, hold on just a second. Jeremy Maclin, 6,800. But Jeremy Maclin's price, his target count was.
Let me see.
Let's see, 7, 15, 7, 8, and then he played Oakland. It was only 3 in that. And last week, Maclin and I looked at Maclin and Derek work hard, but then that weather against Kansas City really negated anything from both sides of the field. So I really get that up, and I think a lot of people be drawn off that because they want that, just that he only had 3 targets and didn't have a last game. But, man, he's been a target monster, top 10 in the NFL wide receiver. And I think against the Saints, who, Saints, top 3, top 5, worst secondary defense overall?
They're ranked 31st against the pass. The Saints, they ranked 31st against the pass and 31st overall in defense. So you saw what the Panthers did. They do have a horrible defense, so I definitely could see Jeremy Maclin or other possible Kansas City Chiefs in play for this weekend in the passing game. I like that play. Is there any other wide receivers on the slate that really catch your eye or caught your attention?
I guess if I had to look at things as far as the layout, yeah, there's plenty of receivers that you can plug in and get you points. I guess if I had to play somebody and look at it, I'd definitely be looking at Larry Fitzgerald against Seattle. A lot of people won't be looking at Larry Fitzgerald, but depending on the quarterback, I think he'd be a target at 7,000 in the GPP format, just because they'll need him, and it'll probably be more of a defensive game. Being at home, Carson Palmer, he said he just had a cramp, so I think he'd be okay. I think Larry Fitzgerald had a quiet week last week. I think at 7,000, it could be a decent GPP play because they'll definitely be trying to move the ball, spread the ball around on that tough Seattle defense.
Yeah, it also gives you late night exposure because that Seattle and Arizona game is the late night game. And, sometimes it's good to have, players in the late night game, so after all the game's over with, you still got players in play to kind of push up your score. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, definitely. And if I can squeeze one more in there,
yeah,
it's not gonna be popular. He's not gonna be popular.
Yeah, I feel you.
Devontae Parker in Miami.
Okay.
Against Buffalo.
Uh-huh.
He almost scored last week.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? I think he's gonna be really sleeping. All you need is a touchdown at that price at 70 to 100 yards, and you'll definitely be winning.
Yeah, I didn't really think about him, but I'm going to definitely look at his numbers, look at his targets, and maybe possibly put him in some of my lineups. The last receiver that I kind of want to talk about is Antonio Brown. It's no Big Ben this week. He had that knee surgery, so he out for a few weeks. Is it safe to say that he's a good fade, Antonio Brown playing against the New England Patriots?
Yeah. They keep pressing that Landry Jones played up, and Antonio Brown got 100 yards. I'm not sure when that happened, maybe 2 years ago. But Antonio Brown, he hasn't caught a touchdown pass from anybody other than Ben Roethlisberger in his life in the NFL level. So, I don't know, man. That's kind of, it's kind of scary.
Yeah, 9,000
at 9,000 when you got Julio and AJ Green right there. AJ Green's only 8,500.
Yeah.
So I almost like AJ Green more, just as much as I like Julio. So
yeah,
man, you can really throw both of them in your lineup and take off with some other good plays.
Well, I'm telling you now, man, I ain't touching Antonio Brown. Not at 9,000, man. I'm fading him 100%. And I'm saying that he probably go off and score some touchdowns, but just looking at, the circumstances, no Big Ben. Like you said, he's never caught a touchdown from anybody else, and they playing against a Bill Belichick defense. So Antonio Brown, I'm not touching him. Also, one more thing about the receiver position. I'm not saying it's a great play or anything like that, but definitely I think you should consider the Washington Redskins receivers. This past week when the Los Angeles Rams played the Detroit Lions, they let Case Keenum throw all over them. Case Keenum. That was like the biggest surprise for me. So if Case Keenum can do it, I think Kirk Cousins and his receiving corps should get some possible consideration also. What's your thoughts on Washington receivers?
I like it. They're not high. Deshaun Jackson, he got a shoulder situation right now. I'm not sure what his status is going to be, but Jamison Crowder is 6,200. Pierre Garçon, 6,100. Detroit, they can stop nobody. Everybody likes Slay, but I mean, he not grading out like top 10 on PFF right now. So I mean, you gotta like it. They gotta score points. I think they got somebody back on their offensive line. They running good. They running backs look good. Detroit, like I said, they can't really stop nobody. So I don't know. Deshaun Jackson, he healthy. I mean, in the dome or whatever in Detroit on that turf. Jackson Crowder, man, they could get deep. And Kirk Cousins, he quietly been playing decent. So I mean, you gotta like it, but you know, I think that's more of a GPP play because you never know at the end of the day.
All right, I feel you. That's about all I have for receiver. Is there anything else you wanted to mention about the receiver position before we move on to the next position?
Let's see. I guess you gotta remember what Golden Tate did.
Okay, definitely.
They still don't have Ebron.
Yeah, that's a good
call.
I mean,
I guess you gotta always keep that in the back of your head or whatnot. And then I mean the Atlanta San Diego game. Atlanta gave up a lot of yards in the passing game as far as statistically was. I mean, I guess Phillip Rivers, and you know, he not in a bad position.
Yeah.
I mean, he got to put up points. So I mean, you know, you're not gonna go out without shooting. So I mean, I guess that he might not be a bad little sneaky, sleepy play himself.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna close out this wide receiver position. I wrote down a couple value sleeper plays. Again, we talked about Kendall Wright for Tennessee at 5,000. Great value play. As a sneaky play, I like Brandon Marshall for the New York Jets. And that's simply because Odell Beckham, he went off on the Baltimore Ravens. So I think, you know, Brandon Marshall, you know, with Geno Smith starting, a lot of people not gonna look to that game. So Marshall could be a sneaky play. Like you mentioned with the Falcons in the Chargers game, Mohamed Sanu, he could be a good value play of 5,600. And then the last value play I have written down is Marquise Lee for the Jacksonville Jaguars at 4,500, and that's only because of the Oakland Raiders defense. I believe they are a defense that you can attack, and at that price of 4,500, I think he could be a good possible value play. Got anything else to add to wide receiver?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, let's move on to the next position, an important position, the running back position. And for me, when I initially made my lineups, I had LaShawn McCoy plugged in there. Like, I didn't even care if he was 9,000. Going up against Miami, I think they 31st against the run. I had McCoy in my lineup. But, you know, watching ESPN today, they said he left practice with a hamstring injury. So I'm off of McCoy right now. And my top running back is DeMarco Murray. I look at what Lamar Miller did against the Indianapolis Colts on Sunday night, and I think Murray is in a good spot. He's going to get the attempts at 8,700. He's my top running back for GPPs this week. What's your thoughts on Murray, and who's your top running back?
I like Murray. He's in a great position. I think he's great for cash. I think he's going to be really highly owned. I guess if he scored 2 touchdowns, get 150, it don't matter.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I'm going to use him out there. He's a great running back. The Tennessee, they kind of spread it out last week. He still scored a touchdown. So, I mean, in the blowout. So, I mean, he definitely in the zone. That Tennessee line really just opening the lanes, right? Mariota didn't throw but 24 times, and he even scored 3 touchdowns.
Okay.
So I think that was against Cleveland, right? So I guess we need to look at whoever playing Cleveland, right?
Yeah, Cincinnati. Yeah.
But Cincinnati, Andy Dalton. Yeah, that's my quarterback. Oh.
Okay.
But when I look at the running back, I like LeGarrette Blount.
Okay.
Against Pittsburgh.
Okay.
His old team who really kind of shelved him off. Who really like, he got banged up with, Le'Veon Bell and the whole driving and
But that was
with the substance.
Oh yeah, he did play for
whatnot.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, you right. Yeah,
and they let him go. So I mean, that's his former team. Cameron Hayward, Hayward, the big nose tackle, whatever, he's out. You know what I mean? And you know who came out of nowhere and rushed for 200 plus on them last week? Ajayi.
Yeah.
So I mean, you gotta like LeGarrette Blount. You gotta imagine Tom Brady gonna get up on Pittsburgh and Landry Jones. LeGarrette Blount is the running back. I mean, they're not gonna give it to even a big boy, the hot waiver wire pickup.
James White.
Running back?
James White.
What's his name?
James
the
White.
Backup running back for the Patriots. The scat back.
It's James White.
Yeah, James White. They're not gonna let James White run it over 10 times. He doesn't run over 6 or 7 times. So I mean, it's a LeGarrette Blount game.
Hey,
It's a LeGarrette Blount game. He's like my favorite running back right now.
Hey, you really opened up my eyes to Blount because I really wasn't even thinking about him. He hurt my feelings 1 week earlier this season where he didn't do nothing. But that narrative about him playing his former team, I definitely can see why he would be motivated. And then, like you said, considering what the Miami running back did against Pittsburgh last week, yeah, Blount, he does seem like a good player. I might have to make some adjustments to my lineup. I want to talk about this running back that I have in my lineup now. And I know you know about him because we playing each other in season-long fantasy, and I saw you picked him up. Jacquizz Rodgers for Tampa Bay, 5,600. I like him this week because he's at a good value price. And then also the San Francisco Giants, they're last versus the rush in the NFL. They're 32nd. And Chris Sims, he's injured.
49ers.
Oh, I said Giants, yeah, 49ers. Got that baseball in my mind. But, Chris Sims and Doug Martin, they both like battling injuries and stuff. So Jacquizz Rodgers, I really, really like him at running back as a value play as well as a GPP play. What's your thoughts on Rodgers?
Well, I picked him up. I picked him up because I have in the season league that we're in. I see we play each other. I have Doug Martin.
Yeah.
So I mean, I targeted Jacquizz Rodgers. You know, he was like one of my top priority lists. You know what I mean? Because I knew I was seeing the signs that Doug Martin wasn't gonna play this week.
Yeah.
So I mean, I had to pick him up. And I likely start him. You know what I mean? Because the 49ers without Bowman. You know what I mean? And Tampa Bay don't really have nothing else behind it. So, I mean, he in a good spot in season long. But as far as DFS, I mean, he's really cheap. I mean, he's really, really cheap. You got to love him. You know what I mean? You gotta have some exposure to him. You know what I mean? And when I look at it, and I look at the rest of the landscape, whatever, Jacquizz Rodgers, Jacquizz Rodgers is a great pick, man. I gotta give you that. I look at Giovanni Bernard. You know what I mean? I don't know if Cincinnati gonna throw us a curveball and start running Hill again. You know what I mean? They're playing Cleveland. They started Gio last week. You know what I mean? He's 6,300 on Fanduel. I hear Jeremy Hill has a shoulder. They haven't really been running him as much as Gio. I mean, I hope they don't throw a curveball, but I guess GPP, you gotta like him. I look a little bit higher. Matt Jones ran real good last week. I mean, I don't know what to do against Detroit, but he's been running good. He's at 6,700. You know what I mean? When you look at the running back landscape, you know what I mean? You got McCoy and Murray at the top with Le'Veon Bell. A lot of people won't be looking at Le'Veon Bell because he's with Landry Jones or whatnot. But I don't know. At some point, New England get up on Pittsburgh real good. I don't know if they'll pull the starters out or will they leave Bell in. I don't know how they're gonna handle it. I think they got a bye week after this week. If I'm not, let me check. If they got a bye week, I could really see them, pulling Le'Veon Bell out after, New England get up by a good margin. But I also like Devontae Freeman, you know what I mean, against San Diego.
Now, I know about my Falcons.
Getting a lot of exposure too, so.
Now, I know the Falcons. Like, the thing with, picking Freeman or Coleman, I kind of stay away from them because it's kind of almost like a running back committee. They kind of split things, so it's kind of tough for me to decide, which one to play because For instance, that Monday night game against New Orleans, Tevin Coleman was scoring a lot of touchdowns. But I wanted to mention another running back and see what your opinion was. This guy is like the top running back in the league. He averaged the most fantasy points per game. But in David Johnson, we saw what he did Monday night. 3 touchdowns, 100-plus yards. He can catch the ball out the backfield. But he's in a tough matchup versus the Seattle Seahawks. And that's going to scare a lot of people away. But at the same time, would that make him a good GPP play? David Johnson against the Seattle Seahawks? What's your thoughts on him?
I mean, I think he's a great GPP pick. I'll probably pick Murray over him in cash. I think he'll be less on in GPP. I mean, what he did to the Jets the other night, I watched that. I mean, it don't take much for him to get loose, and he running. It reminds me of Le'Veon Bell a little bit because he's patient and he's waiting. You know what I mean? And then he doesn't take a lot to get it going. So I mean, he's definitely comfortable. He catches passes out of the backfield. I guess I'd be keep my eye on Carson Palmer status. I do think with Drew Stanton in, it might take a little bit away from him. But I don't know. After what he did to the Jets, it's hard for me to say he's a fade or he's a sit.
I'm scared to do it, man.
Cash, but
I can't pull the trigger, man. Like, it's like for me, it's either between DeMarco Murray and David Johnson. And if I pick David Johnson and I know Seattle got a good defense, and then DeMarco Murray goes off, I'll be kicking myself, man. So, like, if I had...
Yeah, but the Jets had the #1 rush defense, though. I mean, I don't know.
It's a tough one, man, because I was looking at it. I know a lot of people going to be scared to pick David Johnson because they play in Seattle, which makes him a good play if he goes off. But DeMarco Murray, he's just in a great spot. So I'm not that risky. I think I'm just going to have to stay with Murray. But if you got the guts to pick David Johnson and he goes off, I think it's going to help you like go up in the leaderboards. Do you agree?
Yeah, he's a GPP play. You put Murray in cash, and then you fade Murray in GPP and throw David Johnson. If you're making like 10, 12, 15 lineups, you could throw David Johnson in there and hope it sets you if he does get in. I mean, 8,500. I mean, it's not the running backs drop off a bit. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Christine Michael at 7,600. He's below David Johnson and Le'Veon Bell. I mean, it's $1,000 cheaper, but I don't know. Is he a good? You think he's a good look?
Who's
scored
that?
2 touchdowns. He's not gonna get over 100 yards, so I guess he's touchdown dependent.
You talking about Michael?
Yeah, Christine Michael.
Oh nah. I got Jaquiz Rogers as a lock. It's just my high price running back what I'm trying to figure out. But I'm gonna keep it at Murray for right now because he's in a good spot. The last running back situation I want to talk about is in Kansas City. New Orleans, they horrible against running backs. Running backs do pretty good against them. The only thing is Kansas City got 2 options in Spencer Ware and Jamal Charles. So because they have 2 options, I just kind of stayed away from it because I wasn't sure what to pick. What's your thoughts on the Kansas City running back situation?
I think Jamal Charles is a steal at 6,800 against New Orleans at home.
Yeah, I feel you.
I know we didn't talk about this at the beginning, but the weather is really, really important because last week they played Oakland. I think it was in Oakland. Yeah, it was in Oakland. And, it was just rain. It was really bad. Jamal Charles, he come out of ACL towards the end. They just pounded Spencer Ware.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as far as through the first, second, Jamal Charles, he was still used in the red zone. He scored a touchdown. It's just when they started blowing Oakland out, they started running Spencer Ware. You know what I mean? There's no reason to have him out there in the rain on that, get hurt his ACL. But now they play New Orleans. We know Breeze is not as good as he is away from home. You're in Kansas City, probably one of the top 2 or 3 toughest places to play. I think it's a Jamal Charles game. You know what I mean? 6,800. He scored a touchdown last week against Oakland. I Charles game.
Okay.
Spencer Ware really got his towards the end when he just. I mean, he got it during the game, but he really got his at the end, killing the clock. I mean, running the clock. So might be Jamal Charles game 6,800. You'll never see him like that again if he scored this weekend.
Yeah, it's a interesting decision. But that's about all I have as far as that running back. You have anything else you want to add, or any more running backs that you want to mention?
No, I'm trying to keep it moving, man.
Okay. Let's move on to this quarterback position. I already mentioned Matt Ryan, how I like Matty Ice. I definitely think he's going to have a game similar to what he had against the Panthers. You talked about Andy Dalton, why you like him. Another quarterback that I like, my second favorite quarterback, is Marcus Mariota. And mainly it seems like the last 2 weeks he's really elevated his level of play. But Mariota, what I really like about him is the dual threat ability to pass the ball as well as run the ball. And then he's playing against a bottom-ranked defense in the Indianapolis Colts. Your thoughts on Mariota and any other quarterbacks that you like?
I think Mariota's a great play. He'll probably be one of my top 2 or 3 plays of the week if you didn't choose him as far as quarterback position. He's on a roll. I think he's like over 20-something, 26, 27, 28 points 2 weeks in a row. He's at home against Indy. I mean, Vontae Davis is really the only thing that I probably worry about over on Indianapolis side. I mean, I know I got Mathis, but Tennessee line is top 2 or 3. You know what I mean? It's either Murray or Mariota. You might be able to roll that same thing out like last week. I saw you last week, Mariota and Murray or whatnot. I know. I heard that. I heard somewhere a statistic that in all blowouts, it did say that they were to blow them out a 14-point margin or more. That Mariota that he scores 2 to 3 touchdowns in every game since he's been at Tennessee. So I guess if we're looking for them to score points, you know what I mean? Mariota, he's a good player at 7,900.
You got any other quarterbacks that you want to talk about? 'Cause I got one that I have as an ultra contrarian play, and I'm probably going to play him. But you got anybody you want to talk about?
Yeah, I guess if you look at the quarterback position, you got Tom Brady, Matt Ryan, Drew Brees at the top. You know what I mean? Tom Brady, 9,100. I mean, I know it's a lot, but hey.
Yeah.
And the guy throws 3-4 touchdowns. Who say he's not going to throw 3-4 touchdowns this week? And you might want to throw a Tom Brady lineup together. You know what I mean? You never know. You know, Andy Dalton down at 8,100. You know what I mean? Like I said, I like him. You know, you got Stafford at home against the Redskins at 7,900. Yeah. I mean, Stafford's been on the road. You know what I mean? I'm not that afraid of the Redskins. I mean, Stafford's got to do it. His running backs are gone. Whether he's losing or winning, he's going to be. Whether they're losing the game and he has to come back, or whether they're winning the game, he's going to be responsible for it. So he's 7,900, right by Mariota at 7,900. Phillip Rivers 7,800. I mean, it's a lot of quarterbacks. Like last week they said that a lot of quarterbacks scored 20 or higher, or 24 or higher. So, you know, I mean, maybe spending down that quarterback and getting you a good quarterback. You know what I mean? You might save yourself some money and hit it on some other positions.
Well, I'm gonna tell you who's my little sneaky play. I know a lot of y'all out here probably gonna not agree with me, but I'm playing him in one of my main lineups, and that's Blake Bortles. I know he hasn't been good this year, but they're at home, and Oakland's defense is just very, very bad. I mean, they're 32nd overall defensively ranked and 32nd versus the pass. Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson stack, that's going to be my second stack for the main slate in my second lineup. My first one, I got to go with the home team, Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. But for the second one, Blake Bortles and Allen Robinson. That's my sneaky stack. Thoughts on Blake Bortles? Let me know what you think.
I mean, what makes you? I mean, what do you like about Blake Bortles against Oakland? I mean, he is at home.
Can you pull up his game log now on Fanduel?
Yeah.
All right, now pull up his game log and look at October 2nd, which I believe was week 5. and you see Indianapolis where they rank defensively, right?
Indianapolis?
Yeah, if you pull up his game log, Indianapolis in week 5, they were ranked 30th.
Yeah.
They was ranked 30th. And you see the type of numbers he put up, 25 fantasy points. That's pretty decent. You know, and then the beginning of the season, his first 2 games he passed for over 300 yards. He just, you know, had some interceptions and things like that. I'm not saying he's a great play. It's a sneaky play. Matt Ryan is my main play, but just to try to be different, you know, against this bad defense, I like Blake Bortles. It may not work out, but that's what I'm gonna try.
I'll say this. This year, Blake Bortles hasn't shown me a lot, but how he can't be in a better position. It's just getting the ball downfield. He just hasn't. I just haven't seen it. You know what I mean? Just throwing the ball downfield. I don't know what he did during the offseason or whatever. I mean, he can't be in a better spot. Oakland not, you know, really posing a threat to anything. I mean, Alex Smith in the rain last week, he didn't throw for a lot of yards or a touchdown, but he was really efficient moving the chains on them. So, you know, they got, like I said, Emerson. They got the cornerback, the bigger cornerback over there. But I think Blake Bortles is in a great spot. It's 7,400. I mean, I can't really throw a lot of hate on that. But it's a couple quarterbacks around him that I do like, as far as Jameis Winston.
Okay.
At 7,500, he's right at the same price as Bortles. Or you can look at like Kirk Cousins or Alex Smith against New Orleans. Alex Smith is 7,200 at home. I think at more GPP plays, I think Blake Bortles are probably more of a cash play because, you know, you don't know what Ivory and Yeldon are going to do on the ground as far as getting it in. So he might be throwing them, you know, Robinson on the goal line or whatnot. So I think Blake Bortles will probably be a good cash and maybe GPP play. But I definitely think Alex Smith would be more of a GPP play or whatever. But he's been getting the job done. You know what I mean? And he can, if they need to score some touchdowns in the red zone, he could throw you 20, 25, 30. Fantasy points real easy at 7,200. You gotta like that.
Yeah, so I hope so. You have anything else at quarterback that you want to add? We're just gonna move on to the last skill position if you don't have nothing else to add.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do it. I think I'm gonna do it. I think you gotta look down and you gotta look at Colin Kaepernick at 6,500.
Wow.
For a GPP play.
Okay.
Tampa Bay is not good. Tampa Bay is not good on defense.
Yeah.
they're missing their leader, Jerry McCoy. The 49ers at home, he scored 18 points last week at Buffalo.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, if he can rush for 60 yards, that's 6 points. You know what I mean? If he is in a better matchup at home. So, I mean, you got to look at Kaepernick for 6,500. And then you got to peek in on Geno Smith. Geno Smith at 5,000.
Yeah. Okay, you heard it here.
Geno Smith at 5,000. Baltimore might be without Jimmy Smith, their cornerback, their top cornerback. You know what I mean? They're already out with Terrence. He tore something on his arm, and C.J. Mosley's gone too. They still their best player is who now? The safety, the cat from San Diego now, back in the back end or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of yards in between him and the snap or whatever. So his yards to get. You know, Smith might not be a bad pick. I didn't see the game. You know what I mean? Last week when he came in, and they threw a pick. But at 5,000, man, if he's a starter next week, I don't think no matter what he does, his price is gonna go up. So
yeah, I hear you.
You might can throw him in and just stack all the rest and throw him in cash for 5,000 and stack you up a Julio, AJ Green, DeMarco Murray, you know what I mean? Like, you know, maybe throw Gronk in there or whatever and get you a 50-50. You know what I mean? Something like that. It might not be bad, man. I might do that. And then we might come back and tell you the results.
Yeah, I hear you. You heard it here on Be The Best DFS. Let's make it clear. These not our top plays. These are sneaky plays. Blake Bortles, Colin Kaepernick, and Geno Smith. If you want to get real sneaky. But, you know, again, our top plays are probably Matt Ryan for me, and I believe he said Andy Dalton is one of his top quarterbacks. let's keep it moving. The last skill position, tight end.
Let me just say this before you finish.
Yeah.
I guarantee you, Colin Kaepernick and or Geno Smith will bust for more than that price mark on FanDuel this weekend. I can guarantee you that.
It's possible. I don't have the bankroll to invest in them, but I hear you, man. I hear you. I'm gonna try my luck with Blake Bortles, but definitely we got it on video, so we heard what you said about them two.
All right.
Tight end, I'm really not good at it. Delaney Walker, he really let me down last week. But for me, at the tight end position, my favorite tight end is Travis Kelce, going up against the Saints defense, and also as a value play to pair up with Matt Ryan, I like Jacob Tamme. Your thoughts on the tight end position?
Tight end, you got Gronk at the top for 8,500. It's really high. Jordan Reed, I'm not sure if he plays or not at 7,300 and how much he plays. I don't know. You got Jimmy Graham at 6,700 against Arizona. It might be a mismatch for the Honey Badger. I don't know. I guess my favorite tight end for the weekend, I think Kyle Rudolph at 5,400 is really off a little bit. He's averaging a lot per game. He might be safe as far as cash. Cameron Brake at 5,200 will be picking up a lot more targets. I guess he's better at DraftKings. You get a whole point for a catch because I'm not sure if he gets in the end zone or not. I think my favorite tight end for the weekend on FanDuel, not as far as season long, but it'll be Charles Clay. You got Charles Clay, Miami. He's pretty much what's the quarterback's name? I don't know why it's slipping me. He's Virginia Tech quarterback for Buffalo. He's his favorite target right now.
Tyrod Taylor. So Clay for
Tyrod Taylor for Virginia Tech. He beat my Florida State Seminoles a couple times during his tenure in Virginia Tech. But Charles Clay is his favorite target right now.
So Clay for the Buffalo Bills.
Pick a stack of. Say what now?
Clay for the Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah, Charles Clay, Buffalo Bills. He'll be taking on Miami back in Miami, and this will be a homecoming for him. He was ushered out of Miami, so Miami doesn't have a good defense. They have one of the worst defenses in the league. You know what I mean? Tyrod Taylor's one of his favorite targets is Charles Clay. It's setting up good for him at 5,100. That's pretty cheap. He's down there with Ertz and Gilmore and Wofford, and they haven't done anything. So I think that's a good play for cash and GPP.
Yeah, I feel you. The only thing I probably would add for tight end, I think if Dwayne Allen for the Colts, if he ends up sitting out, Jack Doyle for 4,700 is a good value play.
I forgot about him.
And also, Antonio Gates been battling injuries. The Falcons' defense isn't that great. So if Gates is out, even if Gates played, Hunter Henry for 5,800 is a decent play. And Kobe Fleener for the New Orleans Saints, he get a lot of targets, so I think he could be a sneaky play. But like I said, I normally don't get tight end right, but that's my take on tight end. You got anything you want to add?
No, I really hate Kobe Fleener.
Yeah, he went off last week.
I really hate Kobe Fleener because I had him and I dropped him.
In daily fantasy?
Last week, in the league. I'll tell it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And then last week, the touchdown pass that he caught was sneak pass. He ran the wrong route. He caught it and was in no man's land, just ran, for a touchdown. And then he runs an a tight end end around and scores another touchdown. Yeah. It's so frustrating to have somebody let him go and then he does. It's so fluky. To me, it was just kind of fluky. So, I don't know. He'll be seeing Eric Berry, probably for Kansas City. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Drew Brees, so this weekend, so I'll let you in a little insight on that one. So
okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna really talk about kicker, for the sake of time. And as far as team defenses, I guess we could both just name our favorite defense for the week. Since we're kind of running long on time. My team defense, I like the Philadelphia Eagles because Sam Bradford, he was with the Eagles at the beginning of the season. He didn't even want to play there, so I think they may be motivated to have a good game versus the Vikings and get some sacks on them. Your favorite team defense?
Uh, Tennessee. I mean, you got Tennessee at home against Indianapolis. Tennessee, I think they got 6 or 7 sacks 2 weeks in a row. Indianapolis line is really, really bad. Andrew Luck is one of the top sack quarterbacks in the league. Might be at the top. I mean, you got like Tennessee for 4,600, and then the two high price defenses. I mean, you got like Minnesota. I mean, that's defense in the league right now. And I mean, and then Cincinnati at home against Cleveland. Cody Kessler, I think he threw the ball around last week on Tennessee, but I don't think he. Terrell Pryor is banged up. He might not play. I think it's a hamstring. Something's going on with him. That's basically their only target. I mean, their only offensive weapon. And Cincinnati already holds the outside receivers minimal to none anyway. So I mean, what else are they gonna do? Run Crowell and have to see Burford set the dirtiest player in the league. I don't think that works. So Cincinnati at 5,100. There's a reason why they're #1 defense. Vegas sees it, people see it. So I mean, that's safe. Cincinnati and Minnesota. I like Tennessee too for a little bit cheaper.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. I think that's about it for all the positions on the lineup strategy. Definitely thank you for joining me. I'm about to try to start getting my friends from the group and people I know who's good at DFS to join me on these videos. Just to give my final take about this slate. I know it's chalky, but I'm a Falcons fan. Rise up, and my #1 lineup is gonna have Matt Ryan and Julio Jones. And I'm just gonna build around that with the plays that we talked about. You have a final take about this slate?
No, I appreciate you. I appreciate for you inviting me on or whatnot. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert or nothing like that, but I mean, I have a little bit of success. I'm really better in season long. I've been playing DFS for a few years now. I'm pretty good at it. I guess my few takes would be weather. You always want to check the weather. And then number 2 is know what type of game you're playing and know what type of league you're in. And I guess that's about it.
Okay, appreciate it, man. I'm gonna hang up with you. I'll give you a call back. I'm just about to take about a minute or so to close out this video. But thanks again for joining me for this week 7 video, man.
All right, bro. We'll talk, man.
Yeah.
Peace.
All right. It got kind of long, but that's the end of the video. Week 7. I'm putting it out tonight. Definitely excited. Hopefully can win some money. As always, I definitely want to give thanks to everyone who subscribed to the YouTube channel, who's following on social media. #BeTheBestDFS. Last week kind of took a step back, but it's a new week, a new opportunity to be great, a new opportunity to be the best. So definitely just work on your lineups this week and try to make the best lineups possible. And let me not forget, lineup assistance still available. Just hit me up. And, I'll send y'all lineups, $5 for week 7, $25 for the rest of the season. But, it's nothing spectacular or anything like that. It's just something I'm offering to share, my lineups with other people who are interested in buying. But thanks again for watching the video. And as always, try to be the best. All right, I'm out.